All right, so top of the mat, standing with the feet slightly apart. Give your shoulders a roll back and down and turn the palms to face forward. Just have a little rock between the balls of the feet and the heels. Just so you find that place where you've got equal pressure through those four corners of the feet. And then just allow the feet to settle, allow the eyes to close. Take a nice big long inhale. And then as you exhale, let the shoulders drop. And then let's just really check in with ourselves before we start moving. So scanning the body, seeing how we're feeling physically today. Also emotionally, mentally. Where are you at this morning? And wherever you're at, that's fine. Just arrive at your mat. Meet yourself at your mat today. Feel the pressure through the feet, grounding you down. Feel that connection with the earth beneath you. You may feel yourself slightly swaying or rocking. That's fine. That's your natural vibration. Just go with it. Feel the energy within the body. Let's turn on the lower abdominal muscles. So from the pelvic floor up towards the navel, just have a little zip up of that area so we can create some activation into the tummy. Helps to protect the lower back and allows us to stand that little bit taller. Imagine somebody is pulling you up by a string at the top of the head to lengthen the back of the neck as well. The chin can come down a touch towards the chest, just a little bit to lengthen the neck. Okay, next long inhale, push the breath down deeper into the belly. Exhaling out completely. And again, if you use the Ujjayi breath, turn that one on now. That slight restriction into the back of the throat. If not, just a regular breath's fine. Just keep it long and deep. And then I invite you to set your intention for practice today. Maybe a dedication, something that you can use as your focus for practice. So set that intention in your mind. Give it your breath, give it your energy. Lovely. All right, let's open up the eyes. Inhale, sweep those arms up to the ceiling and look towards them. A nice big stretch, reaching up, lifting out of both sides of the ribcage. As you exhale, soften the knees and fall down and release into a ragdoll position. The feet are slightly parted. Take hold of opposite elbows here, so we're in a ragdoll. If you want, you can have a little sway or a rock. Bend the knees as much as you need to, depending on how your hamstrings are feeling today. Give your head a shake out as well. Release that neck tension. And then let the fingertips come down towards the mat. Bend the knees more if necessary here. And then as you inhale, let's take a halfway lift. The hands can come onto the shins, lengthen the legs and the spine. Find length from the tailbone all the way to the crown of the head. Exhale, bend the knees and fold again. Inhale, halfway lift. Lengthen through the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Knees are soft. One more, halfway lift on the inhale. Really lengthen and extend the spine. Exhale and fold. Hands to the floor. Let's step the feet back into a plank position. So holding that strong plank, engaging through the core, pushing the heels back. Push the space between your shoulder blades up towards the ceiling. So we're looking towards the top edge of the mat. We're going to lift the hips and move back into our downward facing dog, where we can just have a little pedal of the legs. Just bending one leg then the other, pushing alternate heels down towards the floor. Again, the head should just be hanging heavy. Good, lift up onto your toes on your inhale and exhale, push the heels down. Again, lift up onto your toes, then push the heels down. Once more, lift up onto your toes and then exhale, push the heels down to the floor. Bring your knees down now, so we're in a tabletop position, making sure the knees are underneath the hips. And then lift the head and tilt the tailbone back. Exhale, round the spine, bring your chin into your chest for a cat-cow. Inhale, lift the head up till the tailbone back. Just hold here. Now push the floor away with the hands. Push out of your shoulders as well. Let the belly drop down. And just move the hips from side to side. Just see how the back's feeling. And then round the spine, bring the chin into the chest. And again, pushing the floor away, maybe just moving carefully from side to side. See how the back feels. And then keeping the feet as they are, I want you to just lift up. So push into the top of your feet and lift your knees to stretch out the toes. Okay, so the core is engaged. So really pull the belly in here. Let the head drop down so the chin comes into the chest. Push the floor away. Exhale, release those knees down, tuck the toes, lift the hips, now come back into downward facing dog. Let's bring it forward into a plank position, lowering knees, chin and chest, elbows are tight to the body, sliding the chest through and forward into your back bend, going as deep as you feel comfortable with for the first one. Exhale, downward facing dog, right leg lifted up, three-legged dog. Keeping those hips nice and square, push into the hands, lift up onto your left toes, then push the left heel down. Lift the right leg a touch higher if you can. Step that right foot in between your hands at the top of the mat. So we're into a lunge position. Take the right arm up to the ceiling, twist your lunge, keep the hips nice and low. You should feel a stretch through the right buttock. Look towards your top hand. Inhale, reach higher. Exhale, bring the hand down, frame the foot, step it forward, halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale to fold. Come up on the inhale, sweeping the arms up. Nice and steady, reach up, look up. Forward fold here. Halfway lift, lengthen, find length through the spine. And fold, release, step back, plank position. Hold it nice and strong. Engaging everything. Rock forward and back, coming onto the top of your toes and then pushing back. Engage the core. So everything's strong. Push the shoulder blades up towards the ceiling. Then lift the hips, push the heels down, coming into your downward facing. Lift up onto your toes. Drop both heels to the left. Just taking a little twist inside. Make sure you've still got equal pressure through the hands. Then bend both of your knees and push your chest back towards your thighs. And you should feel a stretch coming through the right side. So a bit of a weird position, but just get that stretch. Then bring it back to center. Lift up high onto your toes. Drop your heels over to the right. And then again, bend your knees. Push your chest back towards your thighs. Open up that left armpit so you get the stretch down the left side of the body. Lovely. Bring it back to center. Push the heels down, downward facing. Lift the left leg into the air. Lift it up nice and high. Then come up onto your right toes. Then push the right heel down. Then lift the left leg a touch higher, step it forward, bring it to the top of the mat into your lunge position. Left arm reaches up towards the ceiling, so we twist our lunge. Keep those hips nice and low. Straighten that back leg. You can always bring your knee to the floor if you need it. So reach up higher, touch the ceiling. Bring the hand down, frame the foot, step it forward, halfway lift, lengthen, and exhale, forward fold. Come up on the inhale, nice and slowly rise up, lift up, hands come into prayer at heart center. Lovely. Okay, so we're going to bring the right knee into the chest. Just find that balance, take the arms up towards the ceiling. Now interlace your fingers and release your pointers. Squeeze your ears with your arms. You want to keep your head in between your arms if you can here. We're tilting into a warrior three position. So push that right leg back as you bring the arms forward and into warrior three, pushing the heel to the back of the room. Good, really engage the core, squeeze the ears with the arms, hold for one more breath. Release the foot down to the back of the mat, take the arms up. So we're into a high lunge. Our hands are still up and over our heads. To lengthen through that front leg, so straighten the front leg. And then exhale, bend back into it. So the back heel is lifted. Straighten off through the front leg. Now we're going to hinge over the front leg to try and touch our pointers in front of our foot. Might be a little bit wobbly, so just go gentle. So bringing the forehead down towards the shin. Good. Take a breath. And then we're going to bring it all the way back up again. Push into that front foot, lift it all the way up. Well done. Bend into that front knee. Release the hands. And just bring them down by your sides. Well done. Drop your back heel down. Go for a warrior two stance with the legs. So bend into that front knee. Just check heel and arch are in line with each other, and then bring your arms out into your warrior two. Lovely. So front heel and arch in line, bend into the knee, make sure the big toes are visible. Look along the left middle finger. Good. Sink nice and deep. Relax those shoulders down to the mat. Take an inhale. Now we're going to fold towards that side edge of the mat into skater. So we're bringing the chest down. That's it. Keep pushing the left knee forward. Don't allow it to collapse in. So bringing the chest down so we're about parallel to the floor. And then inhale, bring it back up. Let's do that again. So bring the chest down nice and steady. Push that left knee forward. Lovely. And then bring it back up again. Drop the elbow onto the knee. So left elbow, left knee, all fingertips to the floor. Up to you, extended side angle. Take that right arm up and over the head and maybe turn and look towards it. Breathe into that stretch. Make it as long as possible from your heel all the way up to your top fingers. Lovely. Take one more breath like this. And then we'll go for a reverse. So lift up and go all the way back. Keep the bend, left knee. Don't straighten off that left leg. Keep the bend. Get those legs working. Reach up and back. Top back hand can tickle the leg or wrap behind. It's your choice. Just find that stretch. Cartwheel the hands down. Frame that front foot. Step back. Plank. Lower knees, chin, chest, or chaturanga. Push through. Take your back bend. Downward facing dog. Just reset your down dog. Check in with those 4 points of contact. Push equally through all four. Lift up onto your toes now. Bend your knees. Look forward. Step, jump, walk to the top of the mat. Halfway lift. Fold on the exhale. Knees are soft. Come up on the inhale. Reach and lift up. Interlace your fingers. Release your pointers. Bring your left knee into your chest. Okay, so same thing again. Squeezing the ears with the arms. Ready? Warrior three. Push that heel back. Bring your pointers forward. Hold that balance. Hips are square. Good. Core is engaged. Arms are strong. Legs are everything's strong. Slowly lower that foot to the back of the mat. So super long stance. Woo. Keeping the pointers up and overhead. And then straighten the front leg. Bend back into it. Again, straighten. Now we're hinging from the hip to bring our pointers all the way down, as far as we can get. Maybe they reach the floor, maybe they don't. Maybe you have to release your hands because you're a bit wobbly, like me this morning. Good, just take a breath here. Now try and push that right hip back. So you should get a lovely stretch through the hamstring here. The back heel can be lifted, that's fine. Now push into your front foot as you carefully lift all the way back up again. Really get into that glute. Good. And then bend into your front knee. Release your hands down. We're going to go into warrior two. So drop the back heel down. Check your feet. Open yourself up. Warrior two. Looking towards right middle finger now. Okay. So heel and arch are in line. Arms are out. Bend into that knee. Go nice and deep. Lovely. Look towards your hand. Relax those shoulders. And then hinge the chest towards the long edge of your mat into your skater. Right knee is pushing forward. Come to parallel. Inhale. Bring it back up slowly. And again. Lower down. It looks like a wave when I look at you all in your little squares. It's awesome. And then inhale, bring it back up again. Good. Bring the elbow, either knee or fingertips to the floor. Take that arm up and overhead for extended side angle. Can we look towards that top hand? As that right knee dropped in, push it out so you feel the stretch into your inner thigh. Tuck the right hip under. Ooh. Breathe. Okay, let's reverse it. Lift it all the way back up and go for your reverse. Don't lose that right knee bend. Left hand can wrap behind or tickle the back leg. Just get some length coming through the right side of the body. Bend deeper right knee. Breathe into that stretch. Cartwheel your hands down to frame your front foot. Step back into plank. Chaturanga. Take your vinyasa, guys, or miss it out if you don't want to. We'll meet in downward facing dog when you're ready. Just take a breath. Lift up onto your toes, bend your knees, look forward, step, jump up to the top, halfway lift. Forward fold, let go. Come up on the inhale, rise up. Hands into prayer at heart center. Wonderful, well done. Lift up on the inhale, find those pointers again. Now bring the feet together, bring it into a figure 7 this time. So rather than warrior 3, we're just bringing it down into figure 7. So hinging at the hip crease, trying to make that L shape with the body, number 7, hence the name. Weight into the balls of the feet, tailbone lifts. If we need soft knees, soften them. If not, let's see if we can straighten them and get into the top of our hamstrings here. Now really extend the fingers forward, squeeze your ears with your arms. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Find that length. Step back with your right foot. All the way to the back of the mat. Sink the hips. Nice and low here. Push into the front foot. Rise up. High lunge. Arms come to the sky. Bring the prayer into center. Twist the right elbow onto the left knee. Left hand pushes down. Turn the chest. Thumbs to heart center if we can. Lovely. If you want to, you can split the arms and find your wings, making sure that the elbow is hooked over the knee. If you want to bind, go for the bind. Just twist, pull the belly button in, twisting through the abdomen so that we're getting that detoxification this morning. Taking one more breath. Inhale, rise the arms back up. Lift them up to the ceiling. Lovely. Exhale, warrior 2. Drop the heel down. Open yourself up. Left finger. Look towards it. Push that knee out towards the little toe. Good. Inhale, raise your arms to the sky. Legs stay straight now as we bring the arms down. We're going to push the hip back, tilting into Trikonasana. Slowly does it. Hand either shin, foot, floor, block, or hover. Let's get the core working as well. Lovely. Take the right hand behind, hook it into where the hip and thigh meet, and turn and look over that shoulder. Good. Nice and strong. Can we pull the left toes up towards our head so we get into the calf muscle as well? Lovely. If we've lifted the toes, just put them back down. Let's find our beach ball, taking the left arm forward, bringing the right arm up and over, and find that beach ball there. Good. Inhale, lift it up to the ceiling. Turn the feet around. Go to the other side, warrior 2, facing the opposite way. Sink deep into your warrior. So right foot should be forward. Inhale, take the arms to the ceiling, straighten the leg, keep the leg straight as we then come down into Trikonasana on this side. Choose where your hand goes. So try not to let the bum stick out, keep it tucked under. So don't go too far. Don't go too far if your bum starts sticking out. Take that top hand behind, hook it into where hip and thigh meets, pull back through the shoulder. Can we pull the left toes up towards the ceiling? It's just an option, we don't have to. Good, release those toes back down. See if you can look beyond that left shoulder. So really squeezing the right hip under. Then we're going to find our beach ball. So reach the right arm forward, take the left arm up and over. Hold that beach ball over your head. Then inhale, rise it up to the ceiling. Push your heels out, wide leg stance. Exhale, forward fold. Hands come onto the back of the legs, the ankles, the feet perhaps. Or you can get hold of yoga toe grip. Lengthen through the spine on your inhale. Exhale, forward fold, go deep. Take it nice and deep, lifting the tailbone, weight into the balls of the feet. And the tailbone is lifted. Good, let the head hang nice and heavy. And just feel that lovely stretch coming through the back of the legs. Walk the hands back through if you want to pull yourself through even deeper, really get into it. And then we're carefully going to release out. Walk yourself back towards your left foot so we end up in a runner's lunge position at the top of the mat. Kick it back, three-legged dog. That left leg goes nice and high. Now take your vinyasa here. If you want, you can keep the leg lifted for a little challenge. If you don't want to do a vinyasa, just wait in downward facing, where we will all meet before we do the other side. Well done, 3 breaths here. Child's pose is always an option if you need it. Push those heels down, push the chest back to the thighs, turn the tailbone. Lift up onto your toes, bend your knees, look forward, step jump. Up to the top, halfway lift, find length. Exhale to fold. Good, come up on the inhale. Hands come into prayer at heart center. Just take a breath. Big long inhale. Open the mouth, sigh it out. Wonderful. Okay, let's do the other side. Arms come up. Interlace your fingers, release your pointers. So pull the belly in, feet are together. Figure 7, come down. Nice and steady. Good. So knees can be soft if you need them to be. Squeeze the ears with your arms. Now take the weight forward. Balls of the feet, lift the tailbone, but don't allow the arms to drop. Keep the arms parallel with the floor. Good. Hold, pull the belly in, make it stronger. Reach and touch the wall in front of you. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Step back, left foot. Lovely. Sink down into the hips. Come up and into your high lunge. Arms to the sky. You can always have the back knee down if you wish. Hands to prayer, heart center. So if it's too much this morning, just bring that back knee onto the floor. Twist the elbow over the knee to find our twisted lunge, prayer twist, and then push the right hand into the left. So we don't have thumbs by our shoulder. We want them into our heart center. So push so the thumbs come into the heart center. Maybe you want to find your wings this morning. Maybe you want to bind if your arms are long enough. Mine aren't. So find your position that works. And breathe. That's the most important bit. Pull the belly in so we really get a twist from through the abdomen. This is so good for your digestive system. Get it working this morning. Wonderful. Okay, inhale. Let's bring it back to center. Arms to the sky. High lunge. Drop the back heel down. Open yourself up. Warrior 2. Just turn myself around. We should be right foot forward, right middle finger we're looking at. Yeah, are we there? Awesome. Inhale, arms to the ceiling. Exhale, let's bend it nice and deep. Bring the hand down, fingertips to the floor, arm to the sky. Take the half or full bind if you want to. Okay, we can always keep the elbow on the knee if we prefer. If we're bound, we're going to fly our bird of paradise today. So bring that left foot in to join the right. Put the weight into your left foot and then stand up and bring the leg with you. Ooh. It may or may not straighten. Mine's not going to straighten today. Absolutely no chance. Have a go. Fly your bird of paradise. Nice. Look at those. Awesome. All you've got to do now is get back into Warrior 2. Ta-da! Wonderful. Lift up on the inhale, straighten your legs. Warrior 2 to the other side. Turn to the left. Bend deep into your left knee. Should we do it on this side as well? We better. Tilt yourself down. So left fingertips inside the left foot. Take the half bind, so drop the hand behind. Take the full bind perhaps. If you don't want to do that, just stay in your extended side angle. You don't want to fly your bird, just stay there. If you are going for bird of paradise, and why not? It's a Friday. Step your right foot in. Weight goes into the right foot. Lift up. Stand up, bringing that leg with you. Maybe you're hopping around like me. Maybe you've nailed it. Good. Extend the leg. See if we can straighten it just a touch. Lovely, and carefully release back in, come back into your Warrior 2. Then we're just going to come into that wide leg stance. Pushing the heels out. So the feet are level with the side edges of the mat. Bring your hands onto your hips, lift up on the inhale, and exhale, forward fold. Nice. Pretty passive one, this one. Don't go too deep. Just fold over, release off the legs. And then we're going to take a little bend in one leg, then the other. Just taking the weight from one side over to the other to release. Well done. Take the weight over to the left, but we're staying high. We're not going low. So the foot can stay planted, and we're just taking the hands over, just so we get a stretch here into the inner thigh. If you bring your right hand, so it's kind of in front of that foot, we're just going to open up, take the left arm up towards the ceiling. Look towards it if you want to, if that feels okay. And then release the hand down. Walk your hands over to the other side, bending into that right knee now. So we hopefully get a stretch in the inner thigh on the other side. Lovely. Take the left arm over, so the left hand moves over, and then reaching up with the right arm. So staying in that lunge, opening the chest. Just take a breath there. And then release, bring it back to center. Bring the feet in a touch, hands onto the hips as we come to stand. Turn the feet out into your goddess squat. So 10 to 2 feet. Okay, hands are on the hips. And as you sit into your goddess, just check that your knees are tracking your toes. So we're not allowing the knees to collapse, we're pushing them out. So turn those knees out to your toes. Now, don't let the bum stick out, tuck the tailbone under, push the shoulders back. Give your shoulders a bit of a roll back and down. Slide your hands down towards your knees. And then we're going to twist our right shoulder towards our left knee. So we're sinking into it. Let your bum go down to the level of your knees. And then bring it back to center. And then twist the other way. Left shoulder to right knee. And then back to center. And again, twist. So keep your bum nice and low. So your legs should be feeling it. Back to center. Last time, over to this side. Bring it back to center. Slide the hands up, straighten the legs. Whew. And again, let's go back down. Sink into your goddess and open yourself up. Find your goalpost arms. Elbows are at shoulder height. Shoulders are pushing back. Tailbones tucked under. We're lifting up onto lifting the right heel. And then release, then the left. Then release, then both. Sit, 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 sit. Sit that bottom down. Deeper, deeper, deeper. Sit down and hands to the floor, hips to the sky. And release it off. Well done. Walk towards your right foot. Is it top of the mat? I've lost track. Kick it back, 3-legged dog. So that right leg is nice and high. And then we're taking a vinyasa from here, with or without the leg lifted. It's up to you. And we'll all meet in downward facing or child's pose, your choice. Take some breaths. Well done. Worked hard there, guys. So just use the inhale and the exhale to release it. Let go. So whether you are down dog or child's pose, just check in again with yourself, your body, your breath, your energy levels, how it all feels. Hopefully it's a positive one. And then lift up onto your toe. Oh, so if you're in child's pose, if you join us in downward facing dog, and then lift up onto your toes, bend into the knees. Look forward, we're going to yogic squat. So jump the feet outside the hands. Bring your hands into prayer at heart center. Bring your hands into prayer. Push the elbows out with the knee. Push the knees out with the elbows. Chest lifts, tailbone lengthens. And just take some breaths here. Open up into those hips. Lovely. Bring your fingertips to the mat. Let's lift the hips and step that right foot all the way back. So you should end up in a lizard lunge. The back knee can lower. if you want it to. So up to you whether you keep the knee up or down. See how it feels for your hips. We're all different. Okay, so the hand should be level with that left foot at the top of the mat. Let's reach the left arm up towards the ceiling. Good, and then take it behind and hook it into where your waist, to the waist on the right side is. And then turn the chest to look over that shoulder. Now your left foot can go onto its outside edge if you want, so the hips can sink a little bit lower. Maybe you want to come down onto right forearm as well. So the back knee can be up or down. And we're just opening up, working into that hip. And just breathing, hopefully. If you need to move whilst we're in this, do so. You don't have to stay still. Choose whatever version of the posture works best for you. But really try and open the chest. So pull back through the left shoulder. Sink that right hip low. Breathe into it and then very carefully release out of it. Bring your hands back to the top of the mat. If the knee's down, lift it back up. Step back into your yogic squat. The bottom just comes down. Just take a moment in your squat position, using those elbows to push the knees nice and wide and connecting back in with the breath. All right, let's do the other side. So fingertips down, hips, lift left foot, step it to the back of the mat. Back knee up or down, your choice. Just check that the hands are level with the foot. So you want this knee stacked over the ankle. All right, so we don't want this knee back here. We want it far forward. So give it a little help forward if you need to. Reaching up the right arm towards the ceiling. Just to open up the chest to begin, then wrap the hand behind into the waist area. You can always just place it onto the base of the spine if that feels better. And start turning the chest. Let the right foot go onto its outside edge. Looking towards the back of the mat, back knees up or down, remember here. And then we can lower the left forearm if that feels good to get that little bit deeper into it. Make it a bit stronger. If that doesn't feel good, stay on your hand. And just work and breathe into that hip opening stretch. So hopefully you're getting a stretch in your hip flexor on the left side, but also working into all areas of the hip on the right side. Use the exhale to maybe twist a little bit deeper, push back through the right shoulder. Move that left hip down towards the floor. Carefully release out, very carefully. Bringing the hands back to the top of the mat, lift the back knee if it was down. Step back into your yogic squat position. We're just there for a breath before taking our optional crow balance, our bakasana. So bringing the hands down to the floor, spreading the fingers out nice and wide. Lifting the knees up and then placing them onto the back of the triceps or around the elbows if you need that extra bit of help. And then look and lean forward. Weight goes into the hands. We might then experiment lifting one foot, then the other off the floor, or going into the full balance if it's there for you today. Bringing your big toes together to touch and finding balance, using all of your finger pads to grip the floor. Look forward rather than down, and hopefully we won't fall. But if we do, there's only you in your box, you're fine. Just take some moments, take a few breaths. And when you're done, come back into that squat position. And then from there, we're going to sit our bottoms down, lift the legs up, and land in our half boat. So Navasana, you can either hold the back of the legs, or you can have your arms extended forward. The lower legs are parallel with the mat, hopefully. The spine is long, the chest is lifted. Breathe. Use this as a little resting posture. Breathe in, lift the chest more. As you exhale, let's open to low boat. Inhale, bring it back up. And then open. And then inhale to lift it back up. Lovely. Open up. This time, when we lift up, we're going to reach both hands to one side. I'm not bothered which side. And then open back up. And then lift and take your hands to the other side. So your knees can kind of go the other way. We'll do one more on each side. So open, lift, twisting the hands to one side, and open, Twisting the hands to the other side. Wonderful. Open, hold for a moment and release to the floor. Well done. All right, let's bend your knees. Bring your heels in towards your bottom. So middle fingers may touch our heels at the back. Keep that lovely space between chin and your chest. And then it's a tilt of the pelvis. I want you to engage pelvic floor to navel. So make sure we're zipped up in that area. And then push into the feet, lifting the hips. Arms can stay down on the floor if you want to. If you want to interlace them underneath, we are going to do 3 back bends. So choose how deep you want to take them. We haven't done a lot of heart opening today, so just listen to your body. But lift the hips, push the floor away, make sure the knees don't splay. Exhale, slowly bring it down. Just take a breather at the bottom, and then again, tilt the pelvis, lift the hips, push the floor away. Roll the shoulders under and interlace the hands. Let's get the shoulders under nice and deep, so we can really get those hips into the sky. Keep that space, chin and chest. Good, so breathe high into the chest. The core should be engaged to help protect the lower back. Is your bottom working? Let's make it stronger. Really lift up. Use your glutes. Use the strength in your bottom and your legs to lift those hips. And then exhale. Hands out. Roll down slowly. Okay, so one more. One more bridge. If you feel ready for a wheel and it's part of your practice, please feel free. Just be careful. Okay, tilt the pelvis, lift up. As I said, we haven't done lots of work on opening the heart today, so it might not be there today. If you're staying with me in bridge, roll the shoulders under, interlace the fingers. Find your bridge position. And then let's lift up onto our toes. So get the heels off the floor. And then push and lift the hips a little bit higher. Good. Bring those heels down to the floor. Let's take the right leg up into the air. Keeping the hips nice and high. Point the toes, make it look pretty. Try and get that leg into a vertical position. And then bring that leg down. Let's do the other side. Lifting up the left leg. Pointed the toes up to the ceiling. Keep the hips lifted. Good. Bring the foot down slowly. Release the hands out and roll the spine back down to the mat. Good. All right. Feet go a touch wider and we can windscreen wipe the knees. One side and then the other. Okay. Lovely. As always, we'll finish with an inversion. So it's an inversion of your choosing. For those of you who want to take headstands, handstands, forearm balances, just be aware of the space around you. Be mindful as you're at home on your own practicing. If you want to stay with me, the more restorative option is waterfall. So you can place your hands under your sacrum and lift your legs to the sky. This is the more restorative option. Maybe a cushion or a bolster underneath the bottom, just to give your hips that bit of support. Or maybe you want to go into a shoulder stand. So lifting the bottom up, getting hands, fingers and thumbs onto the back, and then working the hands higher up the back and the elbows closer, zipping the legs, pointing the toes. So wherever you're working, just keep the breath flowing. Nice shapes. Nice straddle arabanda. So bust some shapes out if you want to, if you're in headstand or handstand or shoulder stand. Have a play around with it. Let your inner child take over. This is the time when that seems to happen. If you're done and you just want to rest, then rest. Listen to your body. Do what feels good. Just be really mindful of the neck and the back, especially as we come in and out of these postures. Nice, Carl. Well done. All right, good. You've got about another 30 seconds wherever you are working. Bring it down when you're ready. No rush. Take your time. If you want to continue playing, please do. Okay. Well done. If you were in a headstand, then I ask you to just take a child's pose, just to release off after your inversion. If you were in a shoulder stand, just going to take a happy baby. Headstand as you can meet us there when you're ready. So bringing the knees towards the chest and then taking hold of the outside edges of the feet or maybe the ankles or the big toes. Pulling the knees towards your armpits. Take a passive happy baby, all right? So just rocking from side to side. And I want you to think more about just releasing off any neck tension. So we can sway the head as well from side to side. Just swaying it carefully, slowly, one way then the other. Maybe closing down the eyes. Starting to just release and let go. This is really good for kidney stimulation as well, to give a little detox into the lower back area. Just rocking in your happy baby. Hopefully you're all there. Just enjoying this posture. When you do a passive happy baby, it's so nice. Okay. And then releasing the feet to the floor. If you want to, bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees go wide for your final Shavasana, if that feels okay. Otherwise, extend the legs nice and long. Everyone, arms, take them away from the midline of the body so that we can really open up the shoulders. So find as much space as you can for your shoulders on the mat. Find that position where we can just rest and be still. A nice long inhale here. And open the mouth and sigh it out. Letting go of any stagnant energy. Anything you don't need anymore. Just sigh it out. Let it close the eyes. And just release and relax. Letting the breath return back to its normal, natural rhythm. Letting the hips melt into the floor, let the shoulders melt, let all of the muscles soften and the limbs just be heavy. Feel that connection with your body on the ground. Just feel that connection, sink into it. And then bring your focus back to the intention that you set at the beginning and just bring that into the front of your mind. Remind yourself of why you came to your mat this morning. And then before we go off and start our day, whatever that may hold for us, I just want you to picture 3 things that you are grateful for this morning. However big or however small, just picturing 3 things, one at a time in the mind. Send them your love, send them your energy, send them your gratitude. And with those 3 things and your intention for class in the front of your mind, I want you to start making small movements with your fingers and toes. Make the breath a little bit longer. Find those small movements within the body. Take the arms up and overhead for a full body stretch if you want to, or maybe draw the knees into the chest, give yourself a hug. However you want to come out of your Shavasana. Nice, slow, controlled movements, just being gentle, being kind to yourself. We'll meet back in seated to face forward with a tall spine, relaxed shoulders. If you want to stay in Shavasana, please feel free. I certainly would have had the chance. So sitting, hands into prayer, heart center. Just check that the equal with energy within you is equal. So just take a few breaths. Give thanks to everyone who shared this practice with you today, who shared this space. I thank you all for joining me. It's been my absolute pleasure to guide you. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.